This is Moments of Truth with Andrew Marks, co-founder of Success Hacker. Today I have with me Susan Tran, head of customer success at Spoke. Susan, thanks for making the time. Tell us a bit about your company and what you're responsible for.
Thanks, Andrew. So basically, Spoke is a modern internal ticketing system and knowledge base, and we're built for the on-demand workflows. A big thing for us is we have an AI that uses NLP, which is natural language processing, to quickly answer repetitive questions or learn the intent of service requests. And lots of world-class Slack integration, email. Basically, we work where your employees work, and it's easy for them to access us. I actually lead the customer success team here at Spoke. My team is in charge of rolling out the product company-wide, where you see a lot of SaaS software that are built for specific teams. Our product is built for specific teams, but also for it to work, it has to be adopted by the entire company. And so that's what my team does at Spoke.
So Susan, building a customer success organization to scale and serve everything from SMB to enterprise customers can be a challenging undertaking, delivering that segment-based success strategy. How do you address that?
Yeah, so here at Spoke, it's been great because we really do have a wide breadth of clients. We have clients that are 10 employees, we have clients that are 5,000. And so my kind of take on this is it really first and foremost starts with the structure of your team. So a lot of people think, let's just hire a ton of CSMs and everyone's going to have like a different segment of customers. But in that world, you're not really building a team that can actually like really share information and work cross-functionally. So for my approach, I think that the best way to learn what clients need is to first and foremost actually be in the weeds with them and kind of handhold them through things. And then actually take a step back and ask yourself, okay, this thing that just worked for this client, can I very quickly turn it into a repeatable asset? And you can do that very easily if you set up your team in a way that helps with that. So on my team, for example, we have a CSM that's purely in charge of handholding most of our clients that are bigger. Whenever she does anything that helps our clients, the first thing I ask her is, hey, this thing that you're about to build for this client, is it going to take you more than an hour? If it's not, okay, can you sanitize it and deliver it to 5 additional clients? Will also help them. If it does, if it meets that criteria, she goes ahead and does it. And then another person on our team who's in charge of education and in charge of our one-to-many strategy takes whatever she does, and then he takes it and basically disseminates it to everyone else in our book of business. And because we have such a tight loop with collaborating and she's doing these handheld things, she can actually prove that it did work. And then we have someone very close to her that she can just literally pass off what she did to, and he can disseminate it to the rest of the companies we work with. We're able to basically help very large companies, but also very small companies very quickly. And in that world, you really do have to iterate very quickly and not what most people do, walk into a room, sit down and be like, okay, let's come up with a scaling strategy. And scaling strategies tend to kind of like change weekly. So for us, it's like, let's do it daily.
I love that. I love that. It's all about trying to manufacture success that is at the right volume for each of your segments, and doing it in a fiscally responsible way so that you can scale. Because it's, to your point, it's more than just throwing people at it.
Exactly. Like if you're just throwing CSMs at it, you're going to get to the point where everyone is doing one-off things and everyone is inundated. They're all super, super busy and they're feeling like they're running on fumes. And at that point, it's kind of like, well, you're doing something right because at the very minimum, your book of business is happy, but you're just not sharing your ideas. And that's not scalable.
And you have a relatively small team, yes?
Yes.
How many people do you have?
I have 3 people.
You have 3 people, but one of those people, interestingly enough, one of those people is dedicated to education.
Exactly.
And I find that fascinating, and it's refreshing. It's something that we talk about regularly, how important education is. For a early CS team in a early stage company, you guys were founded in 2016?
Yes.
For an early stage company, you've devoted one of the individuals on your team just to education, the development of education. I think is a very strong good strategy for a small company that most companies, they look at education as an afterthought.
Yeah, and I think that's like the kind of worst thing you can do, because if you do interview most CSMs in the field, and you're kind of doing this already, like I do find that a lot of people say, hey, you know what, training people on how to use a product is one of my biggest success factors. And don't get me wrong, technology should always be obviously a key element to success, but should you be spending a huge fraction of your time training, right? If you're truly a success manager, what you really want to spend time is building programs, building different, like expanding to different teams and getting people to really use your product in a way that helps them beyond, hey, click this button, touch that thing, don't forget to invite people.
Yeah, your customer success managers can focus on the adoption strategies that are related to change management. We're changing the way that people do things. That's where your success team should focus on, and let your education train the end users on the feature functions. I love it. I love the idea. Great insight. I appreciate you spending some time with me today.